Guys, what's the crack? Bitcoin with Dinny, it's Dinny here. I want to talk to you a little bit about how to hold your Bitcoin. And if that sounds good, hit the like button so you see more of these videos. And this will be brief, okay? I'll try and keep it short. Quick introduction, my name is Dinny from Bitcoin with Dinny. We're almost 5 years now of helping people to retire early using Bitcoin. We were early to the game. Just now in late 2024, the rest of the world seems to be realizing that Bitcoin is the perfect thing to retire yourself early. It's the highest performing asset. It has been for the last 15 years. And that everyone needs to own it, and that everyone will own it. And by owning Bitcoin, you outperform the people who don't own Bitcoin, whether you're a country, a company, or an individual. So how do you custody your Bitcoin? How do you keep it safe? Unfortunately, with this asset, there's many ways it can go wrong. A lot of people don't understand how to do it correctly. So I'm going to give you a little bit of info so that you can understand it a little bit better. So first off, when people generally start, they'll buy their Bitcoin on a crypto exchange, or maybe the likes of a Revolut or something. Okay, and they might keep it there, and that's relatively okay. Like us as Bitcoiners will be like, not your keys, not your coins. And when you've been in the space a couple of years, you realize that there's a lot of risk in doing that. Okay, you've got what's called counterparty risk, because you have a counterparty in that custody arrangement, in that you don't own your Bitcoin, someone else is holding it for you. So then after that, people move along and they start to hear the Bitcoiner saying, not your keys, not your coins, you got to self-custody your Bitcoin. So people go along and they buy what's called a hardware wallet. Now, where people go wrong with hardware wallets is they just Google hardware wallet and then they buy it off whatever Google tells them. And with hardware wallets, you can only buy them direct from the manufacturer. I'll put a link in the description of this video. Okay, so if you're buying a Ledger, buy it direct from Ledger. If you're buying a Trezor, buy it from Trezor. Don't go onto eBay or Amazon because it's a little bit cheaper. It will cost you all of your Bitcoin. Now, is this better than holding your Bitcoin on exchange? Yes, much better. Is it bulletproof? Hell no, it goes wrong all the time. And because I'm in the business the last 5 years, I've seen it gone wrong. And every single week I see it go wrong. I had a call yesterday from someone who passed away, and unfortunately the Bitcoin is lost because it's on a single sig device. So there's loads of things that can go wrong. People can lose their passwords, they can get hacked, they can store them online, their seed phrase, and that would terrify me. But the space has thankfully moved on, and now we have multi-sig. So eventually it's, you buy it on exchange, you leave it on exchange. Maybe you get yourself a single sig and you do that. A lot of people will just bypass the single stage and they'll go straight to a multi-sig. What we do in Bitcoin with Dinny is we work with a company called the Bitcoin Advisor, which is what's called a collaborative custody multi-sig arrangement. So rather than there just being one ledger, we'll just call it a ledger, or one wallet protecting your Bitcoin, there's three, okay? And they're all different brands, so you're not all in on Ledger the brand, you're not all in on Trezor the brand. If any of the individual hardware companies get compromised, the government takes them over, or they become bad actors, or the devices just start to fail and someone starts to hack them, well, if you're in single sig, it's game over, you lose your Bitcoin. If you're in multi-sig, makes no difference, doesn't affect you, okay? It just becomes a fixable problem. It just becomes a little notification to, oh, we better swap out that key. In the same instance, if I custody all my Bitcoin on a single sig, it's all the responsibility is on me, and I don't like that, because I'm human, I make mistakes all the time, I forget things all the time, and I will die at some stage, and no one knows when, it might be unexpected, okay? So I don't want my estate to pass with me, I want to be able to pass it on. But when you're on single sig, it's all on you, baby. And with other sources of wealth, it's generally that's not the case. Wealthy people are happy to arrange their wealth in a way that they don't have absolute responsibility, so they can't screw it up. And there's protocols in place should disasters happen, because disasters happen all the time. So with the collaborative multi-sig, and this would be like, I think anyone who's holding a Bitcoin or even close to a Bitcoin, it would terrify me to hold it on a ledger. I would, or any sort of a single sig. I would only hold it in this sort of arrangement. And any of the Michael Saylors or the big Bitcoiners that you're watching on YouTube, they would have some sort of a situation like this. They're not just holding it on a single sig, because it goes wrong. I think it was like, was it a year ago or something, where one of the Bitcoin core developers from the very beginning, okay, lost his Bitcoin. due to a mistake. And you know, I don't want to be in that situation where I have the ability to lose my Bitcoin. That's the beauty of having the collaborative multi-sig, is no matter what you do, you can give your hardware wallet away to anyone. They can come and take your seed phrase, okay? But you still can't lose your Bitcoin. Your Bitcoin is it can be in a time-locked arrangement, okay? And so how it works is, you have one key, you mine that key, you keep that key, it's your key. The Bitcoin advisor has one key. They keep that key, they co-sign a transaction. We also have a backup key with whatever software we're using, whether it's Taya or Unchained or Numchuck. Well, I've never used Numchuck, to be honest. But they have a key. So there's 3 keys in your arrangement. Now, neither of the other 2 key holders can steal your money. So you still have self-custody. You still have absolute control over your Bitcoin, no one else does, because they only hold one key. Nor could they collude, because you are the only one who has access to your vault. Okay, you have your login, you have your password to access your vault, so they can't initiate a transaction. It's impossible for them to collude and initiate a transaction because they're only key holders. So it's the perfect situation where you take away the counterparty risk, like holding it on exchange. You take away the I'll screw up and make a mistake risk of doing it all yourself on a hardware wallet, or I'll get hacked, or someone will come to my house and steal it. But you still retain title over the Bitcoin, you still retain control over the Bitcoin, so you don't have to trust anybody in this situation. There's also a whole estate plan protocol that we set up for all our clients. That's literally what I was doing this morning.
Results from last week, US election. I know that your
resume. So yeah, we set up an estate plan protocol for all our clients, so that if they're not around, in the event they're not around, who do we contact to get the Bitcoin into their control? And when you understand the dynamics of the way this works, it's not like you have to trust a solicitor or something like that. It's that the Bitcoin advisor who we work with are financially incentivized to actually do what's right. So it's a beautiful situation. It's kind of like Bitcoin, that it just works because the incentives are aligned correctly. So yeah, some of you guys mightn't be sitting on a Bitcoin yet, and soon enough half a Bitcoin is going to be worth what a Bitcoin was worth. You know, I think anyone, if you've got 40k, even 30k in Bitcoin, you should have it in a multi-sig collaborative. The only downside is there's a cost to it, but the cost is feck all, to be honest. It's less than insuring your car. We pay car insurance and our car's worth less every year. Why don't you insure your Bitcoin? If you own a Bitcoin, it's likely to think, Sailor thinks it's going to be worth 13 million, okay, in 21 years. So to insure for a couple of £100, absolute no-brainer. Some people are too cheap to get rich. That's fine, have at it. But from being in the space and working in the space, it's how I advise all my clients now who are sitting on anything that's meaningful to them. You know, 30k, 40k, 100k, put it in a bloody multi-sig. Every week I get, like yesterday's phone call, where a client passed away. Suddenly, all the Bitcoin's lost. The man has kids. He would have loved to pass it on to them, okay? And it's a tragic situation. And that's why eventually everyone will sit in this sort of arrangement. But yeah, if you're serious about your Bitcoin custody, reach out to us. We have a bit of a backlog, but we will get to you. And the sooner you reach out, like, we're only going to get busier, guys. If you haven't noticed, Bitcoin's going mainstream. Companies are adopting it now. There's news every week. Countries are adopting it. Watch this space for what's coming. And retail people, a lot of them still haven't figured it out, but you guys are here. You're so early. Congratulations. And it won't be by accident that you retire yourself early. So yeah, I'll leave you with that, guys. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of an insight to how you can custody your Bitcoin. You can have it in self-custody, but you don't have to trust anyone, including yourself, because I don't trust myself, guys. I lose my keys every day. I lose my phone every day. I lose my wallet every day. Ask my wife. I'm a disaster, okay? And that's why I certainly don't want to be in control of my Bitcoin, and I like having a custody partner in the arrangement without having to trust that they can steal it. Guys, have a super day. Thanks for being here. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share the message. Dinny out. Put any comments or questions in the comment section as well, and we'll have a look at them. Thanks, guys.